Hello, and welcome to the very first ChangED podcast series. I am your favorite host, Ader Kuhn, and here with me is
Tony Marabito, your should-be favorite host, coming soon.
I can see this is already going to be a fun battle we're going to have. So I work with Montgomery County Intermediate Unit. I'm a project consultant, work in the Office of Organizational and Professional Learning. And Tony, where in this state are you?
I am in Carbon-Lehigh Intermediate Unit, which is Carbon and Lehigh counties. Think Lehigh Valley. Allentown is our biggest school district that we support. I'm in the curriculum and instruction department. I'm technically a staff development facilitator, but we wear many hats here, helping teachers, helping admin, just supporting schools in any possible way that we can.
So, Tony, I think it'd be important as we're starting this world-renowned show that we tell people how this came to be. And really, the idea was all mine, and you're just riding my coattails if we're just kind of cutting to the chase.
Yes, this happens very often.
But what really happened is that we have been doing a lot of work on the SEAL standards, and there's a lot to unpack with the SEAL standards. And actually, in a lot of ways, it can be a really easy lift, and in a lot of ways, it can be a really hard lift, right? Like it depends on the moment and what you're working on. And through trainings that we've gone to and different conversations that we've had and been a part of, we thought it would make a lot of sense to find a vehicle and a way to like send out these bits of information to people, really specifically about SEALs, but then even just education in general.
Yeah, exactly. Working smarter, not harder. The whole state is undergoing these changes and the shifts in education. So why not just have a platform to talk about these changes so that they can get pushed out to the entire state rather than little pockets of people from your IU or my IU.
Right. Let's share this wisdom with everybody and help all of education, not just certain areas, as you said. So, Tony, help me understand, how do you actually say the name of this podcast?
Yeah, I like ChangED. We've gone back and forth with ChangED as well. I'd like to think that it's changed because we're trying to change education for the better. We're not, reinventing the wheel here, but with the new STEEL standards and how the shift in education is coming, we'd like to be on the forefront of that. So I was thinking ChangED. I know you feel differently.
Well, I also think you were going with changed because you've been changed since I, came into the profession in this capacity, right? Like you just feel inspired to do great things.
You make me want to be better. Yeah, every day.
I was also thinking ChangED because, together, all of us in this journey are trying to change education for the better and make a significant difference. And I think part of it is that a significant thing in education is that it is one of the largest professions in the world, right? There are so many people who are part of this. And so we have this tremendous ability to make a lasting impact on the work that we do. But a lot of that comes with, needing to be able to change along the way, right? The only constant in life is change. Tony,
Sure. And maybe
good.
And maybe with this first podcast, Andrew, you might want to give them a little background as to what you did before this.
So my background is I went to school for education, and I got a job right out of school. And what was really interesting is that when I was in school, I was told, "Oh, look, there's a teacher shortage. We need you. You're so valuable. We need you." I didn't realize what they meant was that in 20 years after you graduate, there will be a teacher shortage, right? There's
Right.
The tenses make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And the one they were using was present, but they meant futuristic tense. And so it was actually really challenging for a lot of people when they graduated with me. They had a really hard time finding a job. I'd say only about a quarter of them found a job, and the rest of them actually might have even left education altogether because they couldn't find a job that was sustainable. So I taught, and then I actually left teaching to work in the nonprofit world for 12 years. I was in education, but not directly in education, a lot of things that could support it. Went back to education and have been here this is my 8th year back. And I taught middle school math, middle school science, technology education, as well as computer science. So it was a really fun and evolving journey for me as well to find different parts of education where I felt like I could be impactful. And how about your journey, Tony?
I was actually a business major, all about the marketing management, management of people. So I was a logistics manager for Target for many years out of college, overnight shifts and ordering and things like that. And to be as not, as uncorny, I'm not sure of the verbiage there, but I wasn't. I don't know. My life felt like I wasn't making an impact. So I was actually teaching a CCD class for seventh graders on the side at my church. And I loved that 3 hours a week. So, while I was at Target, I started taking online classes through Drexel to get my certification. Quit everything, didn't make any money for a little while I was doing my student teaching. Was able to work at my dad's restaurant to make ends meet until I was hired in Bethlehem as a fourth grade teacher. I did that for 10 years total. And then I did 2 years as an assistant principal at an elementary school as well. So all my background is in elementary, but coming from the outside world, this is pretty neat to me, this whole steels change, because in education, as most of you know, things take a little while to change. In the business world, it changes in seconds. So this is pretty neat to me, the layout, just at how the focus and the shift that Pennsylvania is going through and changing these standards is pretty unique, but it happens every day in the business world.
Sure. And I think one of the things that really resonates with me is that everybody's journey is different, right? So like you said, you went to school for business and then found your way to education. I went to school for education, dabbled somewhere else, and it came back, right? Like it was like coming back home. And I think all those things inform us in the classroom as educators and as model learners, right? Like, so we're always learning. And like you said, with business, you can tie it to business and find that connection, which gives you that real world connection. So I think the important thing that we want to communicate is that this is going to be an ongoing thing for us, and that we want to help people to navigate their way through steels, but just education in general and learning. You have any final thoughts you want to share?
No, I think I'm excited for the journey. I think there's a lot of really neat topics to talk about. And just because we mentioned steels doesn't mean that we're not going to go into different avenues of education. So excited for the journey to come, and excited for episode 1.
All right, Tony, here we go. I'm excited as well. And I appreciate that you're riding my coattails through all of this. And I think that our listeners are going to appreciate that as well.
Yep. Thanks for the invite.